Hi there, it's Laura here from iHeart Planners, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how I organize my kids' toys. Now before we dive in, be sure to take a minute and hit the subscribe button and click the bell so you don't miss any of the organizing videos we have coming. So I have my kids' toys here in the living room. For a while, this was the only place they had toys, and I loved that because there was nowhere else for them to get them out and make messes. As they've gotten a little bit older, they do also have some toys now in their bedroom. But what I love is having them right where we are in the living room, because if I try to put them in a separate area, what ends up happening is they navigate to where we are. So I'm just gonna embrace it and put the toys where we play with them. Also, since my kids are still fairly young, I like to keep an eye on them. And so since we have an open layout, I can be in the kitchen cooking or doing something, and even when they're playing, I can see them. So that's why I like to put them right in the living room instead of a separate area, and we don't even really have a playroom per se. So that's what we've done. And when I do that, I prefer for the living room to still look like a living room and not so much like a playroom. So my solution to that is to get a normal looking shelf and bins. And there's lots of different ways to do this. You can do like different types of baskets or bins and things that don't even necessarily look like they're holding kids' toys per se. So I think that's the way to go. Now within these baskets, I will say, first of all, that I have not done any pre-arranging. So I honestly don't know what I'm gonna find when I open these up. And I will tell you, we go through approximately once a year and try to edit down our kids' toys, and probably every 2 or 3 months, I'll take everything out of these and like re-sort them. But for the most part, I'm not that picky about it. My main goal is that my kids clean up. If they put things in the right basket or not is just not of any importance to me. And when you do it this way, it's not really a big deal. So say the car was supposed to go in this basket and it goes in that one, not that big of a deal. And this is all the toys that we have down here. So they can still find what they need even if it's not in the right basket. So that's kind of how I approach it. So let's go ahead and dive in and I'll show you what is in these baskets. I do want to mention these are both the shelf and the baskets are from IKEA. This is the Kallax shelf. I don't remember what the baskets are called. We'll try to link to them below if you're interested in the baskets. What I do love about these is that they're perfectly square, so you're not wasting any space. They don't angle in like some baskets that would be stackable. Instead, you get to use all of the space. I will say, however, they're not flexible at all. I have canvas bins for some of the toys in my son's room. Those are flexible. Like, so if something pokes out a little bit, no big deal. And these, you don't get that. It really has to fit. So let's go ahead and dive into what we have in here. You'll see also that they're not over full. If they're over full and you don't put them back exactly right, it's too hard to put them back, and that'll just frustrate the kids. So we like not having them too full. And when you have less, they actually enjoy playing with them more because they're not so overwhelmed. So here we have the Bob books for my daughter to read, and all of this little Hot Dots Junior type learning activity. And we have just a couple of books and puzzles down here. And one of the things that I do is if I see that a toy is being brought from upstairs in their bedrooms downstairs a lot, I just add it to the toy bin and take something else out because I want to make it easy to put things away. And that happened with the puzzles. They were in my daughter's room, but my son kept bringing them down to work them. So we just said, hey, we're gonna go ahead and store them in the baskets where we use them. Next, we have just a few of these plastic fire hats they got somewhere. And then there's 2 or 3 books down there. Most of our books live in my daughter's room, but we do have a few here that we like to read just so we can easily sit down on the couch and read together. I like having books on each level. And next, these are all just a bunch of books. At one point, they were in here very nice and neat, but over time, as the kids have put them back, they've ended up randomly, and I'm okay with that. Sometime I'll go back through and organize them, but for now, that works. Next, we have doctor equipment. A random piece of artwork made its way in here, and a couple more books along with a ball. Then in this bin here, this is where we keep the Little People camper that they play with, along with a few of the accessories are in there. And again, when we reorganize this, we'll keep all like the Little People camper and accessories in one bin, but as time goes on, it gets a little shuffled around, and that's okay. Next up, we have some more of the Little People airplane, the Little People fire truck, and just a couple other things that have made their way into the bin. Here, really the only thing that fits in this bin, and it just barely fits, but it does, is this Little People house that opens up for them to play with. And we like keeping all of the Little People branded stuff together so that they can play with it all together. So this is the only place that we have those. And this is something that, you know, probably in a couple years we'll end up donating when they get too old for it. And I won't be sad about that, because that, like the rigid plastic is so bulky and takes up a lot of space. So I'll be excited when we can move on to smaller things. And this is my son's digger. And this is another one that migrated from his room down here because he was just always playing with it. And then this little Noah's Ark, and it comes with a bunch of animals in it, and these have gotten scattered throughout the bins. But those are the toys that we have down here for them to play with. And I should mention our dining room is just right near here, and that's where we do have our whole craft closet. So there are a lot of things for them to do here. It's not just these toys. And just to share a little bit of the process, if you want to do something like this yourself, when we set this up, the first step is to take everything out, and ideally, possibly take all of the toys in the house and put them together if you can, and you feel like that you can tackle that in a day, because you'll see what you have, and often when things end up in different places, you don't even realize what you have. So we take everything out and then we sort it into categories. Like here is all of the Fisher-Price plastic Little People. Here is all of the cars and trucks. So we get it into big piles, and as we go, as soon as we see something we don't want, we go ahead and get rid of it and put it in the donate pile. And then as we have everything out, we'll even pare down. Like if I got more of the plastic Little People, I would have them pick out something to donate, because this is as much space as I have. If we get something else, there's nowhere to put it. So do that next, and then figure out how to put it in to where it goes and give everything a home. And that was basically the process that we used to set the system up. So I hope this has helped give you some ideas on how you might be able to organize your toys, and let me know in the comments below where you store your toys. Do you store them out in the living room, or do you have a dedicated playroom?